Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Journey the Mystery. How are you? What have you been up to? Today's episode is going to be about living in the moment and enjoying life as it is. And without further ado, let's start talking. So in the past weeks, I have decided to take a drive to my apartment, which I have left due to quarantine. And in the meantime, I'm living at my parents' house. On my 6-hour drive, I was starstruck about how beautiful Mother Nature is. I literally started crying, like no joke. I felt like I was living in a painting, in a magical world, and if you think about it, life really is so full of magic just waiting for us to discover it and recognize it. The while that I have been distant from writing, producing my podcast, and managing my Instagram page, I feel like so much has changed. Even if it was only a small amount of time. I don't think time in itself is a measure to which we compare how much a person can grow or learn in life. Because sometimes when a person is ready to embrace a new life, new beliefs, and new perspectives, and just takes a leap of faith, things can really change drastically, almost instantly. Here's what I've learned in the past short while. During my time in my apartment, I have rediscovered my independence and my own energy away from my brother. I have let myself be who I really am without filtration or trying to be perfect. Because let's face it, it is something that is just a part of me. This constant need to be perfect. I talked about this in previous episodes, so if you're curious, go back and check that episode and come back to this one. I was falling in love with who I am more and more every day. At first, I was still in the energy of when I was mixed with my brother, but after a day of settling and cleansing, I pushed myself to be who I am and to stay away from using technology and went back to being more myself, away from distractions. On my drive, I had these realizations that one of the reasons that I enjoy driving is because it is one of the few moments in life where I am truly just living at the moment, not thinking of the past or the future, and just concentrating on the task at hand. And admiring and paying attention to the world around me as it is. And that is why I think I was so taken back by how beautiful and magical the world is. I started slowly trying to make it more of a habit for me to do things that bring me to be more in the moment, like going hiking and dancing in my room in front of the mirror, and just simply letting my thoughts go and enjoying the time I'm spending either alone or with family and friends. But what really helped me reach this kind of realization is that when I went back to my parents' apartment, me and my brother were completely out of Wi-Fi because the Wi-Fi was broken. So I had absolutely nothing to do, and with the little data that I had, I wanted to savor it for when I was extremely bored, or if I needed to leave the house, or for cases of emergency. So basically, the extra internet or data that I had, I was so careful with how I'm spending it, which made me realize that there is so much more to life, because I was doing my best to stay away from technology. So I discovered new parts of me that I didn't know existed. In those days, I found ways to keep my days occupied. I still wanted to feel like I'm not distracting myself from reality, but actually being in the moment and being productive as well. So on the first day, I completely reorganized my closet. I literally took everything out of the closet, which is basically my storage room / my clothing closet. And I started going through my stuff, reliving memories and seeing what I should be letting go of and what I should donate and what I should keep. Meanwhile, I was reminiscing over the memories and moments I have lived in the past, and I let myself observe the times I have lived in the past and reflecting on them, studying them, seeing what I have missed and where I need to grow, and how much I have changed. It was the first time that I was not distracted by my phone, which, by the way, I realized that I have a habit of picking up even for no reason. And I use it to distract myself, basically. I did a whole video vlog about this, about the whole day of me organizing. So if you're interested in seeing that, please comment down below and I will post it on YouTube for you. Only if you're interested though. Alright, so not only was it the first time I wasn't constantly distracted, but it was also the first time I paid this much attention to details. I let myself enjoy and be concentrated and in the moment, forgetting about the time or trying to take pictures or videos to show my friends or show social media about what I have. It was just me, my clothes, my music, and my emotions. I was in the moment, which leaves you in this feeling of peace. That's what made me want to do more hands-on activities like I mentioned earlier, like hiking and dancing and gardening and building and painting and sewing. Sewing I haven't started yet, but I've been thinking about trying it for years, and I think now is the time to try and learn, right? All these activities have made me be more in the moment, especially when I put my phone on silent or if I just leave it somewhere far away from reach so that I don't impulsively pick it up and get distracted, like I have been doing for basically most of my life. I have learned that I spend a lot of time on screen, living and feeling other people's emotions and lives. Back then, when I wasn't forced to live without using technologies, at least as much as I do now, I didn't know that I wasn't being productive and that I was distracting myself all the time. And it was energy draining living and consuming all this information in such a small amount of time. And if you think about it, I wasn't even retaining any of the information that I would be seeing online. Like, even if I was cautious about the pages and the content that I'm consuming online, because it's so much in such a short amount of time, because you scroll and scroll and scroll, your brain doesn't process it as fast, so it just goes, it leaves you. It's not gonna stay because you're not spending so much time researching or reading more into it. You just read headlines basically. So even if I wasn't healthy and on toxic educational pages and content, I was still not benefiting because I consumed so much of it. It also makes me think of the new application, you know, TikTok. It's basically this application, if you don't know it, that lets people take seconds long videos and post them, and they could be about anything. Some people use it for productive and informative content, and some people use it just for fun and doing silly pranks or something. And it shows that as a result of growing up with technology and consuming so much in such a small amount of time, it has made our brains not able to concentrate for a long period of time. It has caused a small attention span, which makes total sense in making people not able to live in the moment. If you think about it. Think about it for a second. I used to be scared of going out alone because I didn't want to be judged, which made me extremely lonely in return. Oh my god. I used to be scared of going out alone because I didn't want to be judged, which made me extremely lonely in return, especially when I moved to the country that I'm currently in. I don't know many people here, and even the ones that I do know, they have a different idea of what is considered to be fun to do. I never found someone who I connected with immensely. I always felt alone and sad. So when I started pushing myself to go out on my own, I discovered a new kind of self-love and happiness. I finally let myself get to know myself and hang out with myself on all levels. I stopped waiting for the future to happen to be happy. I stopped waiting for someone to show up for me to finally do the activities that I've always wanted to do. I stopped postponing my life for someone to show up, and like I said before, I stopped searching for happiness and waiting for it in the future, and started living my life in the moment. And now, more than ever, the saying, "Don't postpone today's work for tomorrow," seemed more clear. Happiness in life is not something to look for in life, in the future, or something to be discovered. It is something that already is here. But we don't let ourselves be in and live in the moment so much that we don't let ourselves be happy, and we get lost in our thoughts, even thinking about the past or stressing about the future. When I realized this, that is when my loneliness and constant need to find a friend or a soulmate lessened quite a bit. And I think this is one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. It wasn't easy at first. Not at all. At first, I couldn't relax or be in the moment when I went out on my own. I couldn't fully enjoy the experience. I used to feel like I'm being watched by everyone and being judged by them, with my flaws and insecurities written on my forehead or something for everyone to see. It took me a long time to start getting more comfortable on my own. Yet here I am, on a beach, wearing a bikini top and shorts, writing about how I got here with no worry in my mind. I'm so happy and grateful that now I'm able to live my life. I'm so proud of myself for working hard on building my self-confidence and self-love. Because I know nothing beats this. Nothing means more than knowing you're enough for yourself, knowing that you are okay and even more than okay by yourself. Trust me, it requires a huge amount of courage because you are left with your thoughts. And if you have avoided your thoughts and avoided getting to know yourself deeply inside and out, and you didn't give yourself the chance to fall in love with yourself first, then you wouldn't be able to stay on your own. That is what impacted my hangouts in the beginning. I wasn't in love with who I am. I wasn't confident because I didn't know my worth in myself. That's not the case anymore. So if you haven't tried to go out and get to know yourself ever, or just lately, I encourage you to do it. Go to a restaurant, to the movies, to the beach, shopping, or on a trip. Do whatever you want to do for fun. And do it by yourself. And try your best not to be distracted by your phone or using it as a self-defense mechanism. Don't hide behind your music, blasting earphones, nor a phone screen. Sit there and be utterly and purely and completely in the moment. Live it. Experience it with all your senses and attention. And you will discover a new part of you that you never enjoyed or even imagined existed. You will feel alive, not just living, and you will feel unstoppable. Trust me, it is the greatest and most freeing feeling in the world. You've made it. I'm proud of you. And with that, I leave you until next time, my lovely humans. With love. Journey of a Mystery.